Hello, Donita.
Yes.
It's Dani from Brazil.
Hi.
Thank you very much for talking to us. So, first question is about Brazil. I heard you saying for a few times that last time you played in Brazil 18 years ago, fans were crazy. How was that? Can you share some story?
Really wild, and the fans were very enthusiastic and very cute and fun, and it was a wonderful time, Kat.
2 months ago, during our election, Roger Waters had a few gigs in Brazil. At his first show in São Paulo, he exhibited a hashtag used against one of the candidates and put his name upon a fascist list. A large group of people started like booing and protested the following days during his shows with signs like "shut up and play," and we saw a lot of social media manifestation where fans were saying that they went there to hear the songs, not his political point of view. And even a few musicians, Brazilian musicians that support this candidate, posted that they are paid to play, not to express their political beliefs. What do you think about that?
You know, artists have a right to say what they want to on their stage. If you've got a problem with that, you don't have to stay. We are just going to play a rock and roll show that's going to be a kick-ass rock show, and that's what we're going to do. So our fans know where we stand on political things, and we've never used a stage as a speech-giving thing. Whatever. I understand people wanting to hear a political statement. I think that we are going to play a happy rock and roll show that people can get very angry with too, and be singing shitless very loudly with a smile on their face. We have plenty of anger anthems to express a person's feelings.
Talking about women protagonism, do you see any change inside the rock environment?
We're not that involved in the music industry. We can only speak from our own experience.
Yeah.
I would say that what is confusing to us is that we are not invited to play many festivals. Mm-hmm. So I hear from every journalist and every fan from Brazil that our concert with our friends in 1993 down there is still talked about to this day, and yet we have not been invited to play Lollapalooza down there. So that to me is a little confusing. Yes. I don't know what that reason is. I don't know if it's a female issue or a rock and roll issue or what the problem is, but that's been a little disappointing to us that we are not invited to play very many festivals, and that's around the world, so we play some metal festivals in Europe. We've played a couple alternative festivals in the United States, but not that many worldwide, which is kind of surprising.
Could you tell us more about the process of producing the documentary Pretend We're Dead?
We had a lot of home movie footage, and I showed it to a director, and she wanted to make a film using our footage. So I was a creative consultant on the film, and we had final edit approval because it was our footage. So we were not about to hand that over to anybody without having control. So we're very happy the way it turned out. We feel we were very honest as we could be, and I think it turned out well, and I think a lot of people can relate to our story, especially people who are in the arts, and the sacrifices that one has to make in order to follow their dream and happy ending, and sometimes it's a not happy ending, and sometimes it's somewhere in between. So it's a journey, and it's also a really great time capsule of the 1990s.
Can you tell us why L7 decided to break?
We had no money to keep going. Uh-huh. We had no career, no other career, no other skills to support ourselves. Uh-huh. It just fell apart. We had no manager. We had no record label. We had no money. And that is what happens when you can't support your band anymore.
Yeah.
Things have to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like saying, why did your restaurant close? It's like, well, because, there was no more money to support it. So, so that's why the band broke up.
And back at those times, did you think the L7 would never play together again?
I did not think it would ever happen. There were some ill feelings towards each other at the end of the band, and I didn't think that it would happen. I was not wishing for that for years. I didn't think it would happen, and I didn't care one way or the other. But then seeing how the fans responded to our Facebook page that I started, it seemed like, well, maybe some people need to see us, because I think that we were forgotten about, and I think that some young people maybe needed to see us, because I think that we kind of represent something that maybe is not out there right now. So,
yes.
We decided to do it.
And after almost 20 years, how was the composing process for this album you were recording? How did that work?
The same as it always has. I write songs, Susie writes songs, Jennifer writes sometimes. We bring in songs, like a band does. I mean, sometimes Susie and I write together. We don't have the kind of money to go away to Bermuda and write for 3 weeks. We never have, Like we're just not, we're not that, we don't have that kind of money. We don't, we can't afford to do that kind of thing. We write at home. We write together at rehearsal. And then we come together and record it.
Cool.
It's nothing exotic about it.
Okay.
We're a working class band.
Yeah. I have a band too. That's exactly how we do it.
Yeah, no, there's nothing romantic.
Yeah.
There's no romance in the way that we write. It's very working class.
Female collections, female stages, female festivals. What do you think about bands with girls on it being classified by their gender? Is it a good thing for feminism, or is it controversial to gender equality?
I prefer to not bring gender into the, that's the kind of feminism I was raised with, which is to break through so that gender is insignificant to the art that you are creating. Yeah. It can be an ingredient that you are female to your art, but for me, it is not the main ingredient of L7. The main ingredient of L7 is rock, I guess. And with the other ingredients following, humor, anger, speaking for outcasts, being outcasts ourselves, being people who are urban and live in the city and deal with having to pay their rent and keep a job. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, yeah.
It's very, you know, female comes into it occasionally. You know, we just did a song called I Came Back to Bitch. We did that last year. And that was fun, taking a word like, oh, she's a bitch, and making it empowering, saying, oh, yes, I am back to bitch. That is for sure. So, you know, that's how it comes in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as far as these other women playing music, that's great. You know, how they want to present themselves, whether as female or not, that's up to them.
And what do you think about the current punk and grunge scene? Is there any band you've been listening to and would like to recommend?
I like some bands. I like the Growlers. I like Bleached. I like the Alavas. You know, I hear a song on the radio and I'll buy it on iTunes and I'll check them out. And, you know, I usually end up buying a song or two. And,
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are there any bands that I worship right now? No, but I'm not a teenager, and I'm not a young person. So when you get a little older, you know, I still have my favorites, but it's not like I'm discovering new bands all the time.
Okay. And do you want to say something to your Brazilian fans that are looking so forward to see our 7 show?
I want to say thank you so much for loving us. We love you too, and thank you for holding interest in us all these years, because we know that Brazil is one of the places where we are most popular in the world. It's like United States and then it's Brazil. So.
Oh really? I didn't know that. Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I think it's the United States, the UK, and Brazil. So those are like our top places in the world. So we're really looking forward to coming back, and we know that Brazil loves rock and roll, and we're going to bring it to you. So
that's it. Thank you very much. It's an honor talking to you. I'm sorry, I'm very nervous. I'm like shaking.
I'm so glad that you interviewed me, and we really appreciate the support, and thank you so much. And are you going to see us in Sao Paulo or Rio?
For sure, Sao Paulo, we will be there.
Okay, great. Well, have fun, and I hope you have a great time. I know we will.
We will. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.